Alright, what's up guys? Today, first of all, we got our bang. But today we are going to be ranking every book I read in 2021. Now, that is only 24 books. However, I'll put it up right here. Alright, I got a little score sheet here of the books I read month by month. So 24 looking pretty good. For the year, based on how we did the rest of the month or the rest of the year. So we got our little tier list here. Of course, we have the best of the best, and then we have everything else. Basically, the best of the best is the one book that cannot be topped. You already know what it is. All right, we're just gonna put it there. A Storm of Swords, the best book I read this year, hands down, bar none, probably the best book I've ever read in my life. Moving on. Let's get that out of the way. I definitely had these in like order of how I read them, and then I changed to presentation mode on here, and they all got out of whack. So I'm gonna go just off memory of what I read in the order. So we'll see. But Storm of Swords was obviously the first book I read this year, and it was amazing. So, number one favorite, best book of 2021, right there. Next up, I believe I read The Institute by Stephen King. I think I gave it 7 or 7.5. So I would say it's B. The Institute was good. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people think it is. But it's definitely a good book, a good B book, probably more like a B minus. Then it was Later. I would say Later is probably A tier. I really liked Later. It's definitely easily the best hard case crime book that it is. It is 2:30 in the morning almost, and people are going by in their loud ass trucks. Anyway, yeah, Later is probably like an A minus book. It's pretty good. I would definitely recommend that to someone that wants to get into King. It's under 300 pages, so I would say it's a good introduction. Then it was, I don't even know what I read after that. I believe after Later was Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. This was my introduction to John Gwynne, and it's easily an S tier book. I think I have it as, it's in my top 5 for the year. So yeah, Shadow of the Gods. Amazing, John Gwynne. Next up, what did I read after that? I think I read The Gunslinger. Yeah. And then I read Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. This book, I did not expect it to be very good. I'm gonna be honest. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I did not expect it to be my taste. It's historical fiction. It's about building a cathedral. I thought it would be really, really boring. But it's not. It's an S tier book. I'm gonna be reading World Without End, which is the sequel, but they're sequels, but you can read them as standalones. So yeah, Pillars of the Earth, I'm going to be reading the sequel, World Without End, in 2022. Definitely an S tier book. I don't think it's better than Shadow of the Gods, but it's pretty good. After that, I read, I believe it was Drawing of the Three. I would say Drawing of the Three is another B tier. It's better than The Institute. I would say it's probably B or B plus. I wasn't really digging like the first 150-ish I wasn't really digging the first 150-ish pages of Drawing of the Three, but after that, I thought the rest of it was really, really good. And then I read, I think it was A Feast for Crows. I would say Feast for Crows is about as good as you can get in B tier. It's definitely well, I haven't read A Dance with Dragons yet. I'll be reading that in February, but I think it's gonna be my least favorite of the Song of Ice and Fire books, but I mean, they're so good that even the worst one is still top of B, maybe even bottom A, but I'm gonna put it top of B for now. So after that, I believe I read Carrie. I would say Carrie is probably right here. Actually, we're gonna move this here. Carrie, I would say, is top of B, or probably middle of the pack B. I think Drawing of the Three is a little better. But Carrie, Stephen King's first published novel. I thought it was pretty good. Also a good introduction to King. So yeah, check out Carrie or Later if you want to get into Stephen King. After that, I read. I don't even know. Don't even know what I read after that. We're just gonna go with Dune. Probably the first C tier book. My version of Dune is 900 pages, and I really, really enjoyed the first 4, maybe 500 pages of it. After that, I was like, why am I still reading this book? I respect Dune for what it did for science fiction and the classic it is, but it just wasn't for me. I didn't dig the writing style, and the back half of the book really dragged. So yeah, Dune is a good C tier book. After that, I believe it was The Blade itself. We might as well just put them all there. And I would say goes up here. And that goes there. And yeah. The Blade itself, before they're hanged, Last Argument of Kings. Joe is just so good. However, sorry, Joe. Really, really good. These 4 really, really good. These 2 not so much. But yeah. That's all I gotta say, Joe. We'll be doing Age of Madness in February, starting it. So yeah, I hope Age of Madness is up in this range and not so much down in this one. Actually, I messed that way up. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Red Country's good. The heroes, not very good. Moving on. The Shadow Rising, book 4 of the Wheel of Time. I gotta put it down here in C. I gave this an 8 at the time, an 8 out of 10 at the time, but the more I've sat on it, the more I realize how much I hated reading the first 400 pages of this book. And I don't know when I will ever be continuing the Wheel of Time. I'll finish it eventually, but not anytime soon. Best Served Cold was definitely better than that. Yeah. I guess I put bubbly. But yeah, Shadow Rising all the way down there. Moving on, Way of Kings. God, it's so good. Words of Radiance. Oh, they're so good. So many S books. Oh. The first 2 Stormlight Archive books. Some of the best books I've ever read. I think Words of Radiance would be just slightly above. This is like a 10. This is like a 10.2. So yeah, and this is a 20. So yeah. That's all I gotta say about those. I'm gonna be reading Oathbringer sometime this year, Oathbringer and Rhythm of War sometime this year. If I can ever get through Edge Dancer. I dislike Lift so much. But yeah. Eventually we'll read 3 and 4. And then we have The Stand by Stephen King. I would say this probably goes right here. I have later up too high. We're gonna put that there, yeah. Not there. The Stand, I don't think is Stephen King's best book. I think It is better. I think 11/22/63 is better. Yeah. There's another book I think is better, but we'll get to it. So yeah, The Stand is I've of course read the complete and uncut edition. I think the cut edition that was originally published would probably land in my S, but for now it's A tier. I think I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Next up was Warbreaker. I would say Warbreaker is pretty good. I would put it at the top of B. I read this after Way of Kings and Words of Radiance, so perhaps that changed my mood a little bit on it. I don't think the writing is as good as these two books. So yeah, it's just a B. Of course, being a standalone, the characters and the setting isn't all completely fleshed out, and I felt the end was a little bit rushed, but Warbreaker's not bad. Let's go out of the way a little bit. I just finished this. Actually, I read these 3 this month, so Eyes of the Dragon. I would say Eyes of the Dragon is a good B tier book. Better than The Institute, I thought. Also, the Eyes of the Dragon audiobook, the voice he uses for Randall Flagg is so good. Definitely check out the Eyes of the Dragon audiobook. It's short, you can fly through it real quick. Gardens of the Moon is an A tier book. Book 1 of Malazan Book of the Fallen. I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. I know this series is going to completely consume my life, and I am so ready for it. It's a little confusing, but not as confusing as a lot of people make it out to be, I think. So yeah. And last but not least, I just finished this today. Well, not today, I guess. But it is currently 2:30 in the morning, Friday, December 31st. I finished this Thursday, December 30th. And this is an S tier book, probably. I gave it a 9.5, so it would fit about right there. Bag of Bones by Stephen King. A book that I was really surprised by. I listened to the audiobook. King narrates it himself. Check out Bag of Bones. It is so good. So yes, this is my ranking for 2021. A lot of S tier books. An even amount of A and B. And not so many stinkers. I was actually really surprised. I thought I had more stinkers than that, but overall, a pretty good year. Hopefully, we are going to duplicate this year, but with a couple more up in these two. So yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me why The Heroes is not an F tier book, and I don't know. I'll give you $10. If someone can convince me that The Heroes is not an F tier book, I will give you $10. So yeah, also, I didn't even see this, but follow me on Twitter down here. I have 310 followers. All of my links will be down in the description. We do have a Discord, check it out. So yeah, I guess that's really all I got. I'll see you next time. Peace out.